coffee with a side of tea. And we are so excited to be here with you this Saturday. Yeah. We have, of course, our Miss Mimi.
What's up?
Awesome. And then we have a Lysa, the boss lady, takeover. She's doing her second show today with us.
Takeover Saturday.
Let's go. Let's go. I'm Latriva Deneen, and we have the wonderful Lysa Dene. How are you?
I'm sitting in for Poets Goddess Fee. She is not here today, so I'm sitting in.
Well, thank you for being with us.
Great to have you.
So, of course, the first question when you see your girlfriends is, how y'all doing?
Hey, girl.
What's going on? How was your weeks?
It's been a week.
Has it been a week?
It has been a week.
Now, you were just telling me about this pole dancing class you was taking. We're going to have to finish that conversation.
Absolutely.
But
I do want to talk about that.
I imagine it was a week for you. Because you said it took several days just to
get back to. Are you back to normal?
Yeah.
I'm back to normal. I can walk like with a normal speed.
It took some time though.
I'm 41, y'all.
Girl, but that got me excited. I was like, let's do it.
Absolutely.
Let's haul all this rump up a pole and see what I can come up with. So, Lysa, how are you? How was your week?
My week was good. My week was awesome. And I am representing today with my purple for domestic
Yes,
awareness.
Yes, you are.
And also my purple for the Los Angeles Lakers.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You were telling us all about your Laker history from childhood with card collecting.
I'm from way back in the day, okay? I'm not no bandwagon fan. I'm from the days of the three-peat, the James Worthy, the Byron Scott, the Kurt Rambis, the Magic Johnson, the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
You dropped the name.
I need y'all to understand. I've been here since the days of Pat Riley. I am a Laker girl. My bedroom was Lakers when I was in high school.
What?
You need y'all to understand. I'm not new to this. I'm true.
True to this. I was going to drop it for you.
Definitely. We taking it
all
to the house.
Come on.
This year for sure.
So I gotta ask, have you done one of the video things where you put it in and then they pick you as a fan and put you in the stand? Have you done that yet?
No.
Why?
That's just not my stilo.
But Lysa,
I'm not interested in that. No,
Lysa.
I'm not interested in that. I'm just, I'm do my thing from my person.
They need to know. They need to know Lysa Dene is about that life.
I'm gonna tell you how much of a Laker fan I was when I was a kid. When Magic Johnson had this press conference, and some of y'all too young, y'all know about this. We had a press conference when he was diagnosed with HIV.
Right, I remember that.
A huge
I remember that.
deal.
Mm-hmm.
I was at work and people was calling my job. That's how big of a Laker fan I was.
To see how you was feeling.
Calling my job to check on me. Because they was like, this girl, she's gonna have a somebody tell her this before she
make sure she's okay.
Yeah. Let us know. Like, did somebody know who died?
Oh, that's what happened with Tupac. Everybody was calling to check on me.
Because you like that. That was your thing. Girl, my roommate in college was like that. I was like, you all right, Keith?
Ooh, college was serious.
Yes, at Prairie View.
Yes, honey. People was,
But okay, Lysa with the fandom. I hadn't met a real one like you before today. So I'm just happy to see and learn. Like I've never been a sports person, so I was getting all your energy. Wow. You got me excited.
Nice.
You got me excited.
Yeah, I love my team. So
I see.
I'm trying to find a football team, but I don't really get football.
Okay.
Yet.
Okay.
So I'm trying.
Okay.
Y'all can help me out.
Okay. Hit up Lysa. Hit up Lysa Dene with your tutorials around football. So
just say who that. That's all.
Who that? Okay, that's not Texas. That's the Saints.
I know who she's talking about.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about.
Oh, okay. Texas. I just go off of colors. So right now I'm a Seattle Seahawks fan because the lime green and the blue look real good together. So that's who I was repping. And then one season it was the Eagles because I was feeling that green.
Yeah.
Well, then I need to be a Vikings fan then. If we're
going
off colors.
Why not?
Okay.
All right.
I mean, it's a start.
They got purple, right?
Ravens is black and purple.
Okay.
We don't like dirty
We might do that.
We don't like dirty birds. We don't. Okay. Well, we're gonna work it out.
And angry birds.
So for my girlfriends who are just trying to hold on and have some relevant conversations around sports like me, we're gonna get you to get started with the colors. You gotta begin where you can begin. That's all I'm saying.
It.
Right.
Miss Mimi, how was your week?
It was a great week. I made it through.
I
didn't get hit. I ain't run over nobody.
Well blessed. Well blessed.
Yes.
That's all we ask for.
Let
everybody make it.
Yes.
That's all. So my week was all right. Same thing. I made it.
Mm-hmm.
It was touch and go for a little while there. I'm so grateful for my principal. She is my mentor, and she had to talk me off the ledge like twice this week. And she was just like, "You are okay. It is fine.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're trying to move to this dual learning thing or dual model with some kids online and some kids not online. And so the big thing right now is that we're wrapping up grades. And so, you know, they're trying to start a new schedule to get ready for next week as we're wrapping up the current schedule. And it's like nobody wants to push the button to like flip it over so we can all see what's going to happen next week because we got to finish grades. So it's like, make sure you turn in your grades, turn them in by this time. So I was just like, oh my God, if I mess up some child's grade and it messes their self-esteem up because I didn't so I was just really traumatized. And she was like, breathe, it's okay. Yeah. It will be fine. Whatever happens. So it's really nice. And she's a Black woman. So it's really nice to have somebody who is compassionate in this time where things are so hectic, so tense, and everybody's scared to make a mistake, but everybody knows that we're doing the best we can. Right. And so it was just really interesting. It was a really interesting week, but I was grateful for her. Like, she was truly a godsend. That's nice. And so she was able to help me and get through it. And so that made all the difference in terms of me being able to just woo-sigh. And it's okay. So I just take that thing real serious. But I had a pretty decent week other than that. So just super great.
Let me say this about this virtual learning.
Oh, talk to me, mama.
Hilarious. My son's teacher, I mean, these teachers, I feel so sorry for them. Shout out to all the teachers. My son attends Spring Branch School District. The funny thing is they're doing the same thing, online and in person. It's so funny to sit there and listen to the teachers because some of the kids, now I gotta give you 2 examples before we move on to the next segment. Okay. One of the kids kept asking the teacher the same question. Which one? And she just kept saying, "Can I get some water? You're at your house." The teacher said, "Go ahead and get some water. You're at your house. You don't have to ask." And then she asked her 5 minutes later, "Go get some." Now the teacher was funny because she said, "If you ask me one time, I'll remove you." From the meeting, she removed her. The other funny thing from this week was so hilarious. 2 other funny things, so hilarious. They had these breakout rooms, right? Right. So when you're on Zoom, you go in a breakout room to study with different groups or whatever. They sent my son to a breakout room by himself. And I was like, "What you supposed to do?" He said, "Turn off my camera and kick my feet up." And that's exactly what he did. He turned off his camera. What grade is this? What grade is this? He's in 5th. I knew it. Turned off the camera, kicked his feet up, and took a nap. Oh, wow. And he woke up just in time. For them to go back to the main room. And just when you think it couldn't get no worse, the class was going good and the teachers was sending people to the breakout room. She sent herself to one. To a breakout. So the kids were like, "What?" The kids was like, "What happened to her? Where did she go?" And she came back a few minutes later. She's like, "Kids, I'm so sorry." And you know, she has a funny way of saying boys and girls. And because I haven't been in a school setting in so long, I haven't heard that saying. So she's like, "Boys and girls, boys and girls." She's like, "Boys and girls, I'm so sorry. I sent myself to a breakout room." I wonder if that was a lot of buttons, but it's a lot of buttons. A breakout room. I'm telling you, she probably did. Just like, give me a second. Yes, give me a moment. I need to move side, girl. But so it's. I got. You know, I got respect for y'all teachers. I really do. Thank you, because hearing like, I don't know what the parents are looking like, you know, looking at all the time, or what they're walking past and hearing, just kind of, because kids are hilarious. Kids are hilarious.
You know, I've heard some things from other people's backgrounds.
Oh, see.
While my daughter's a senior in high school.
Oh, wow.
And so I've heard stuff from other kids, you know, their
background. They're answering and you hear something happening.
I saw somebody's daddy in the background with his shirt off.
See.
And it wasn't nice.
Oh.
If it was nice, I was like,
say, wait.
What was that face?
If it was nice, I would be like, hey. But it wasn't nice. So I was like, put a shirt on, man, please.
But then the last thing I'm gonna say is y'all have to watch that video of the teacher from Florida who was basically giving tips to families on what they should and should not do in these backgrounds. So I'm gonna have to send that to y'all because it was hilarious. It was a read down. She read them down.
Oh, good.
So it was so good. Yeah. She was like, yeah, no.
Please don't.
Yeah, no.
We don't want to see that.
Yeah, it was good stuff.
You know, and that'd be the one time that the speakers pick up
everything. In
your bathroom, down the hallway, up the stairwell. It's gonna pick up everything.
I'm telling you. Yeah. So it's entertaining. We welcome your stories. If you have some, drop them off at Black Coffee with a Side of Tea at Facebook.com. We want to hear those stories. But today, let's get into our tea of the day. And so I want to talk about, because Black Coffee with a Side of Tea, the vision that Lysa had with this show was, we want this to be a girlfriend space, right? We want this to be a place where Black women, brown women can come and just make a connection. Because a lot of times I've heard women saying, like, I don't have any friends, right? I'm a grown woman. How do I make
female?
Yeah, now that was the other thing that I heard a lot. But I don't have any friends, especially now in my 40s, right? So because I got married, I became a mom, and I had all of these things for many years that I put myself into. Now in my 40s, I ain't got no friends. And so how do I go about making these relationships? And then you also have situations where people have connections that once benefited them, and they're still in these friendships just because of time or obligation. Right. And so it's like, how do I choose friends that really serve where I am right now? And so it just really got me going, because I got caught in this Girlfriends rabbit hole, right? So Girlfriends, Netflix has Girlfriends playing, like the old school show Girlfriends. So I didn't realize it had 8 seasons, because I would only catch it whenever, because I think I was in college when it came out. And so watching them with the four ladies, they all, of course, have very different personalities. And so the ways those personalities manifest and how they interact with each other in their friendships has just been very different, very interesting to observe. And so I wanted to talk to you all about, friendships, girlfriends. What kind of friend are you? What kinds of friends do you look for? Do you see friendships different now as an adult, like a 40-year-old, than what you did when you were a teenager or in your 20s? I just want to talk about what it means to be a good girlfriend, because sometimes we don't know. And a lot of times you hear that Black women can't get along, or women, period, can't get along. And so that's where you have that, I don't have any female friends, I got a bunch of guy friends. What is it? What is it about these girlfriends? Because I feel like you need sister friends.
Absolutely.
I feel like you have to have them, because men are only going to listen to us for so long. Even the best, well-meaning men who are the most amazing people in our lives, our emotions run so deeply in how we feel about things and the way that we think about things and the levels that we go to with them. Men just don't have that kind of attention span.
Yeah, it exhausts them.
Yeah. And so there's a way that we can vibe with each other, that we just kind of are there. Like when we get in that zone, you just are there. And you can talk for 5 hours with your girlfriend. Yeah. Men can't do that. They're gonna have to do like 6 or 7 different things in that 5 hours if they're together. Right?
I listen to you. Keep talking.
Exactly. Let's go smoke some cigars. Let's go play some ball. Let's go have some drinks. They done had a whole tour of the city if they're together that way. So I think that girl friendships are important, and it sounds like you all agree, but help me understand and unpack. First of all, like, what kind of friend do you think you are, Lysa?
I am the understanding friend.
Okay.
I'm the one that you can always call when you need a voice of reason. Okay. I'm also that one that when you want to bust the windows out of the car, that you call.
You the ride.
I'm also the one that when you're upset, I'm going to make you laugh.
Okay.
I'm the one that's going to be the voice. I'm pretty much everybody in one.
Okay.
But I'm also that emotional one.
Okay.
And I'm the one that feels that I put more into a friendship than another person does. Okay. And I think that that's where our problem is. Okay. Our problem is that we are serving relationships that do not serve us. Okay. And it's hard. It's hard on both sides of that. Mm-hmm. It's hard to serve a relationship that doesn't serve you, and it's hard to not serve something that is serving you. So
explain what you mean by that. Serving a relationship that doesn't serve you.
When you're with someone, I'll take an example from a recent experience. Okay. I'm not going to say exactly the details of the experience, but I joined an organization, and I'm ride or die. Right. If I join you and I say I'm loyal to you, I'm rocking till the wheels fall off. Yeah. But I was rocking and they weren't rocking with me. Okay. Wow. And when I say they weren't rocking with me, I was literally standing in the middle of a room defending these people, and they were standing outside doing the opposite to me.
Wow. So you're having their back in one situation when they need support, and they're basically throwing you under the bus and, not even supporting you on the other side of the wall.
I was called an outsider.
Are we talking about girlfriends? Are we talking about, is this a friend or this was like a colleague at work?
They were supposed to be a group of friends.
Okay.
They were supposed to be sisters.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Wow.
Well, you didn't ask me yet, but I'm going to jump in.
Because you made some great points.
We were literally just talking about this off camera.
Yeah.
So it's like you can be the best friend to somebody, and the minute you have a disagreement, they become your enemy. That means they was never your friend.
Right.
I learned that the hard way, because if I have a disagreement with you, I'm just gonna have a disagreement, and I'm just gonna come to you and say, look, I don't agree with what you said. I don't like what you did. But after we do all this, we're gonna go to lunch, and we're gonna be good. But when you have been such a good friend to somebody, and then all of a sudden they go around town telling folks all kinds of stuff about you and trying to run you down, it just makes you realize that they never were your friend.
Yeah. They couldn't have been if they did that.
Right. And then
they were waiting.
And then the shade of it all is when they see you winning and they want to creep back into your life. But one thing about me, shade. I'm gonna put that out there. I'm gonna need you to catch it too. To the person is directed, I'm gonna need you to catch it in the same spirit in which it is thrown.
Call it
the shade. Now, here's the thing: when you really think you slick, the person, people may not say that they see you, but they see you. Absolutely. And that's the thing about what type of friend are you? This is the type of friend I am. I am insightful because I have been given a spiritual eye. I am gifted. I can see where people at a lot of times before they even know.
Yes.
I can see you coming.
Ma'am.
I can see you.
Yes. And discernment is what that's called.
And sometimes it really makes you a good friend because you see the person's needs and you're always there to try to meet them. But sometimes it makes you a target as well because you see them, but when you see things that are embarrassing, you don't say anything. Right. You just, say a little prayer for them. You feel bad for them. And you try to support them. Yeah. But at the same time, just because I don't say it, don't mean I don't see it.
That's right. That's right.
Because that's the type of friend I see everything. Right. And unfortunately, I really wish I could get that part of my spiritual gifts away. Let me get that to somebody else.
No, Lisa, that is such a gift, because the thing is, if there is nobody with sight in your life, then it is very possible that you could drive off the deep end when somebody could have helped you. Yeah. Right. And just not, you don't see it. And if you ain't got that kind of covering,
you do need a friend like that. I really feel like it's important to have that type of friend, but also it's important to be a friend to a person that's like that. Absolutely. Because when you know a person that's like that, you gotta understand their life ain't the same.
Now that's real.
Because they see everything, and when people come to you and they saying one thing out their mouth, but you seeing
something else. Yes.
You know how that is in that. Because you're trying to see him like, but you already know what's going on. So you just gotta play the role. That's hard.
I'm going to come back with a question for you on that, because when it comes to being a friend to somebody like that, the question for me is, and I'm going to drop it and I'm going to come back to you. But my question is, what does a person with sight, what kind of friend does that person need? So that's
a very
good what I'm saying? Because if we don't know, then we can't be the right kind of friend for you. Right. But let's talk about that in a second. So let's move on to this ad really quickly. We want to talk to share out with some of our individuals who have an ad with us. We're going to get some sponsorships. Thank you for holding on.
Good. That was good.
Woo! I need to tighten that transition.
Shady.
Catch it like I get.
That's really good.
She wants it.
So this is 225?
Yes.
Okay.
We're a little early.
People are early.
Yeah, we're a little early.
One of them.
So you can drive
this.
Okay. Stand by 5 seconds. Stand by 5 seconds.
For more information, and be sure to use the promo code STUNNER at checkout.
And we're back. It's your girl, Latriva Deneen. We're picking up our conversation about what kind of friend you are. And Huffington Post, an article that I read, said that there are 5 types of friends that women need. That you need a woman who has always got your back. This is the friend who will always be on your side, even when you both know you're completely in the wrong. Mm-hmm. The comedian, somebody that'll make you laugh when things are rough and you're having a hard one. The devil's advocate who tries to get you to see both sides. What about this way? You know? And then you have the wise soul, somebody who can see and speak that wisdom and give you that direction or help. And then that instant connection. Some people you just have chemistry with. Sometimes it's romantic chemistry, but a lot of times in friendship, that's the chemistry too, right? And so if you are, you know, thinking about friendships, which one friend are you? So Lysa, we were talking and you were talking about being that seer, being someone who has a little bit of sight. We're gonna come to you too, Miss Mimi. But you mentioned that yes, everybody needs that kind of friend, but we also, for those of us who are blessed to have that person in our lives, it's important that we know how to be that person's friend. So as a seer, what kind of person, what kind of friend is the most supportive for you?
Genuine.
Okay.
Because understand that I see. So I see whether or not you're genuine. So when you're not being genuine, it's just annoying.
Right.
It's like, go away, because you really don't even like me.
Right.
So why are you around me?
Right.
So you need a genuine friend. Mm-hmm. And I have learned that as I got older. You will be surprised how many people are friends with people they don't even like.
Come on.
And they go to places with these people, they hang out with them, and it's like, why?
Well, I was about to ask, why would they do that?
Yeah. And they go talk to their other friend about that person. Yep. But my thing is, and because I am aware of it, it just drains me. Yeah. It just drains me. It's like, just get away from me. Don't be around me because I know you're not genuine. Yeah. So to me, being a person that has a spiritual gift and you can see people, and the main type of friend you need is a genuine friend. Mm-hmm. I don't care if she, you know, out there. Mm-hmm. I don't care, you know what I'm saying? I don't care what you are. Just be genuine in what it is, because that's the one thing that a person like me, the type of friend I am, that's the one thing you need is a genuine people around you. Mm-hmm. Because you get so tired of hearing one thing out somebody's mouth, but you seeing everything else.
Yeah. That makes sense. Miss Mimi, what kind of friend do you consider yourself?
And I had to learn, because Lysa made a good point when she talked about the people who, when you have a disagreement, you end up not being friends. Mm-hmm. For a long time, that was me. Okay. Right? And then I had a friend who was true to me. Mm-hmm. And when I did that, it hurt her feelings. And she was like, whoa, hold on. Right. And so it made me look at myself and what I was given to a friendship. And did I really take that word as it is? And then even a conversation with my dad too. He was like, you know, if you're going to be a friend, you be a friend. Right. So it's that ride or die, like Lisa Boss Lady said, ride or die for some, you can't offer that to everybody, right? Mm-hmm. The one who likes to make sure you're okay, and I have in the past dwindled me down to push somebody forward. Mm-hmm. I've been that type of friend. I've been the comedian. Right. If I knew that something was wrong or something, you know, you were going through something, I've been that one. I've been the devil's advocate. I'm learning more to be more not forceful, but to make sure that people know, you know, where I'm coming from, you know, and that I'm not coming to be facetious. I'm not trying to be mean. We've been through this thing, and I consider you my friend. So this is what this is. Right. You know, this is what I see. This is what I feel. Let's talk about it. So that's pretty much me.
I think for me, I have been, I guess I would consider myself the always got your back friend. I know that for me, a lot of times friendships in the past have been very challenging because I could make friends, but keeping them was sometimes difficult. And a lot of it was because of how I saw myself and that I did not recognize myself as worthy of these relationships. So I didn't feel like I could give enough. So if I were to befriend Lysa and Lysa and I were friends, I would struggle in that relationship because I know she sees my vulnerabilities and my weaknesses. So I start to try to cover them. For what reason? I don't know, because I know she sees them. And it makes me feel like I'm not a good enough friend to be her friend, right? And so then I don't end up serving that friendship well.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't until I got into my 30s that I realized that cycle, because I listened to friends or, listen to people that, I've had this friend for 20 years. I've had this relationship with them. We've had these ups and downs. And I'm like, how do you have these kinds of ongoing relationships where you've grown and they've ebbed and flowed, and I'm sure you've had disagreements, and how do you manage that when, I know I couldn't have done that because I was so busy trying to keep a facade and so busy not, trying not to look undeserving or trying, and didn't realize that person just cared about me. They saw me, they recognized me, and they were interested in just having that instant connection and being my friend and being in my life. But I spent so much time feeling like I wasn't good enough that person was just like, I don't have time for this right now. And so I am recognizing, though, that I am that friend who just wants to be there for you. And that is genuinely where I am. And having that understanding now, I'm able to, because I don't have many friends now, and we can discuss why later. But understanding that about myself now, I want to be very careful when new relationships come in my life, because I want to be who I desire to be. I want them to see that in me, and I want them to receive that from me. So I'm a little cautious and reciprocate. And that's the other piece. It's like, how does that even look for me, right? If they give me a bit of time, I should just be grateful for that. No, there's more to it than that. But it's making me realize that I have to understand what I want in a friend. And I don't know that girlfriends do that as often. I think that we're clear about what we want in a boyfriend or a boo.
Some of us ain't.
I think we spend more time evaluating that, but friends wise, I don't know.
I want to offer this because I feel like you have to be, first of all, you need to find the friend that, well, you said something. You said that it was more about you when you couldn't maintain relationships. What I find is that if you are the type of friend, we all say what type of friends we are. You have to be that to yourself first. Because if you're not being that to yourself, then you can't really maintain any type of friendship. You have to learn how to be your own best friend. And I know it sounds cliche, but it's just so real. It's like, when Lysa was talking about being the ride or die friend, she got to ride for herself first. She got to always be there and never give up on herself. No matter how things get down and whatever challenges she faced, she got to always say, but I'm not giving up on me. And when she becomes that to herself, she attracts those type of friends into her life.
That's right.
But when you're not being that to yourself, then of course what you're going to attract in your life is other broken people, other hurt people, other people that's not their own friend. And this is the reason why I see people when they say they have friends for 20 years, this is the reason why they don't work for me. Because all of my adult life, I was not healed. So when I began to get my healing and begin to become a whole person, well, those friends couldn't stay with me. I have outgrew them. So I couldn't have the same friends for 20 years. And what happens is a lot of times when you meet people in your broken place, like that song, We Fell in Love in a Hopeless Place. When you meet friends and you're going through something, sometimes that's that season. And when your season change, you gotta change out. Because a lot of times I have seen it with my own eyes. When people meet you when you down, when you start coming up, they can't handle it. They cannot handle it. They will have an attitude, and they will always remind you of where you used to be. Or I used to help her. I used to do this. She used to have no car. And I used to have to pick her up. Okay, but now I'm not. So why you got to stay there? And that's what happens when you have outgrown. When you outgrow people. That's a good point. I like what you said about not knowing what type of friend. And I brought up this one. We talked about this. Is a lot of women, we get into this rut of friendships because we become friends with whoever's available.
So I was going to bring you there.
That's true. And sometimes they're not for you. Just because they're available to you because you go to the same church or you work in the same place or we met at an event or you're a mutual friend of somebody else. We have to still be compatible. Now, see, it took me a long time to learn that. Because I have such a sense of frustration when I'm not compatible with people. That's the reason why in dating, that's my favorite term. And I think guys be feeling it coming. I'll be like, we're not compatible. This ain't gonna work. Because it's frustrating. Now, I have this one friend
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know,
Speak your mind.
she always late.
Oh, Lord.
And I despise being late.
Yeah.
She knows she is.
Yes, she loves you. Lysa loves you.
And it is hard for me because it's frustrating because I don't. You know how much anxiety I feel when I'm ever late somewhere?
Right.
I'm never late.
Right.
If I'm late, somebody hurt,
Right.
injured, or I'm hurting.
Right.
I had to be on time. So
Right.
I have frustration and I have anxiety. Because I be like, how do you be comfortable being late?
Right.
Maybe she's not though.
Oh my God! But you, that's what you have to learn, and it's hard to maintain a friendship when you feel anxiety all the time.
Yeah,
it's hard, even if you like the person.
That's real.
So you have to find compatibility.
Yeah,
even in your friendships, you just have to.
Yeah, that's so true.
That's the only way you can really maintain them.
But how do we learn that? Like, how do we choose? And this is for everybody. Like, how do you recognize what your friendship needs are? And a lot of times, again, because of that, we're friends of convenience, we're friends of availability. We don't establish like, this is what I need in a friend. Because if that's the case and you don't have that, and you're the only person around, that means that, oh God, I'm here by myself. I don't have a friend.
See, now that's where you coming up on the good part of it is you have to be okay being alone first.
Okay.
And that's with friendships or relationships.
Yeah.
You have to be okay, because if you're not okay being alone, you accept anybody.
Right.
You accept any friend, any boyfriend, any family member.
Ooh.
And I gotta even be compatible
Keep
with my
it
family.
there.
Because I will not deal with you.
Keep it there.
So what you have to do is put
That's
yourself
huge.
first. You have to be a priority. And sometimes we don't do this. And we'll say, because for me, I say, this is the type of friend I need.
Okay.
I need a businesswoman.
Right.
That's why I like the boss lady.
Right.
Because the boss lady about her business.
Right.
And that's what I am about. I don't have time to talk about other people because I mind the business that pays me.
That's right.
So I need friends like that. And so
that's powerful.
when you don't put that on the forefront, you end up with friends that you're not compatible with. So now in this season, I'm realizing that I have to really make an effort to have friends that I'm compatible with.
Yeah.
In order to get where I'm trying to go in my life.
Yeah. So what are two things on your list? You said they must be genuine. That's one.
Genuine. They have to be genuine. And another thing, they gotta be about some type of business.
About their business.
Because it's what I'm about.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. And Lysa, what when you think of the list that you have cultivated or you're in the process of curating, what are the qualities that you must have in somebody to consider them a friend?
Just reciprocity.
Okay.
Because that's mainly the issue that I've constantly come across as far as not being able to maintain friendship.
Okay.
I used to be in a space where I felt that I had to be around people, so I was afraid to close doors.
Okay.
I never would close doors. I would always, you know, oh well, I don't want to lose this friend, so let me apologize. Let me dumb myself down. Let me accept this. Let me, you know. And when I was by myself and I realized that I did not need anybody, my level went, you know, up here. And I hold people accountable for who they are and what they do. And that's a big thing to me. A big thing to me is reciprocity and accountability. Because that's just how I am, is over and played out. You need to own up to who you are and your shortcomings and be woman enough to fix it.
Or bounce.
And that get right or get left. And you have but you have to understand that you are worth that. You are worth expecting that from people, and you are worth them giving it to you. You have to understand that. And when I say reciprocity, I mean I need a person that's gonna go as hard for me as I do for them. And that's where I have a problem. I have not found that person.
That's good.
That goes, but that's on me as well.
That's good.
Because I'm either 1 or 1,000, and Boss Ladies 1,000 is not something that you really find everywhere. So you can't hold someone to a standard that does not exist.
It's out there though.
Or they're so unfamiliar with.
Yeah, but it's out there, and you have to be. It's just like people who do tell single women, "Oh, your standard's too high." No,
never.
It's out there.
Never.
You just have to be discerning to know this ain't it.
This is
that ain't
right.
it, and just keep going.
Leveling up. Miss Mimi, what is on your list? What are those qualities that you desire or require in a friendship?
My two is genuineness and communication. And I say communication because even with me in the beginning, I had to learn to be more communicative, and then also getting out of my head, right? because in my older age, I've learned to look for the people who are where I want to be. Because I know when I stay in my head, or if I stay in my head, or if I go by the old stuff, and sometimes I do kind of, shrink back into that. I need to have somebody to kind of guide me. So that's what I look for, the stronger person.
I think for me, I look for somebody who wants relationship, who wants to be in the friendship. I don't want a situation where the person is like, yes, I want to have a relationship or a friendship with you, but when I try to connect, or when I try to build those bridges, or spend the time, that everything else is a priority. So it's like, okay, well, this isn't a friendship right now. Like, so I want somebody who wants to connect, who values what I bring to their lives, and then somebody who is able to be honest with me and tell me the truth. And even if it's not something that I'm used to hearing, something that I have heard before, but that they're willing to share their truth with me. And that is not something that I necessarily valued before. And so I'm working to make sure that I am as accessible, I guess, in a friendship as I want somebody else to be first, but then also just recognizing that this is somebody that does want relationship and is willing to invest in our friendship together. So one of the other questions is, how do you know when to move on in friendship? So I've heard everybody kind of saying, okay, we got to know when to leave them alone. How do you know? How do you know when this is a friendship that you need to call quits?
When there's no reciprocity. Like
that's
the
it.
boss
Okay,
lady
that's
said.
it.
Okay.
When you're doing all the giving and no receiving, it's time to let it go.
Well, you're alone anyways.
Yeah. Also, when you're not getting your needs met.
Okay.
That's with anything.
Right.
That's with a job, a husband, a wife, a friendship.
Right.
When you are not getting your needs met, and if you can't keep having these conversations about, I'm not getting my needs met, you just gotta move on.
Right. And so I was doing some research, and I was understanding or listening to several speakers or reading what they had to say. And a lot of it had, the parts that talked about relationships between Black people or Black women had connections to secrecy. So they were saying that a lot of times Black women find it difficult to stay in relationship with each other because there are things that are happening in our lives that we have been conditioned to keep to ourselves. And so to me, that spoke to the lack of trust that these friendships, quote unquote, have to have. And so, but then when they went on to talk about it, it was like, well, no, I think it comes from slavery, because a lot of times women were brutalized or abused in slavery, and they were ashamed of what those experiences were. So I'm being raped by master, I'm being treated this way. And that's where the secrecy began. And so how do we begin to heal that idea of we can't share with women or with each other? Because if we are not sharing what's hurting us or what's happening to us, then sometimes I think it's hard to even build those relationships. So how do we, I guess, push through the idea of I have to keep my business to myself?
First step is learn to be a good judge of character.
Okay.
Because if you keep picking the same people that's going to tell your business, then you'll never build trust.
Okay.
You have to learn how to really judge people's character.
Okay.
Now, if a person come to you telling if I come to you telling you our boss lady business, why would you want me as a friend?
Okay.
Because chances are I'm going to tell somebody else your business.
Okay.
So be a good judge of character.
Okay.
That's the number one step, because you find with people with trust issues, they always pick the wrong people to trust.
To trust, that's true.
And then, they can't trust the next person.
Okay.
Because the last person burned them. So you got to really pay attention. This is very important in terms of this being Domestic Violence Awareness Month, because people have to learn these skills anyway. You have to learn how to pay attention to people's behaviors and the things they say and do, especially habitually, because people will show you exactly what they're about, but you got to pay attention. And so for Black women to build trust, look at people's character. I mean, you just can't be with somebody free. I can't just say I want to go to pole dancing class because, Lysa Good is pole dancing.
Right. Or she had a good time.
But if she tell everybody business, I don't need to go with her.
Right.
So you need to be more discerning.
Right. Right.
That's step one to me.
So Okay, somebody else jump in. Because I'm trying to formulate this question. I'm trying to get this question together.
Well, I kind of want to go back to the beginning of what you said, where it originated from, as far as, well, master raping me. I don't think that's where it originated from.
Okay.
I have a friend, and she's a white lady, and she's very secretive about things that she should confide in other people with, because she don't want to burden them. She feels that she's being a burden, and I tell her that is not called being a burden. That is called being a friend. If I'm your friend, then you're supposed to tell me that, right, and I can help you through that. Right. Because one thing I have is a million solutions. Right. You may not like it, but I got a solution for your problem. Right.
But probably the last person she confided in made her feel like she was a burden.
Right.
They probably did.
Yeah, that's right.
That's true. And so we got one more ad. We want to hear what Lizzie's has for us and has for our listeners. We'll be right back here. Black Coffee with a Side of Tea.
Good. With custom apparel and personalized gifts from a touch of honey by Chantel.
Okay.
Rhinestone designs,
we're on touch of honey.
I love Chantel.
And if you're having a party,
my newest
Touch of
agent.
Honey by Chantel offers amazing balloon displays
right,
and
so we're gonna
personalized party.
Stand by 5 seconds.
And then we'll move.
www.touchohoney.com and tell them Stunner Radio sent you.
So we have so much more. This is Latriva Deneen back with Black Coffee with a Side of Tea. We have so much that we all want to have to say about this topic. So I think we're going to come back to this one on another day, because we can talk about this forever. But what we want to introduce is a new segment that we have led by Miss Mimi called We See You, Sis. Yes.
I'm so excited about this one.
Thank you.
Because anytime you have a time to point out to a sis, I see you doing
That's
that.
right.
I remember when I was a Mary Kay consultant, that was one of the things they taught us, to compliment somebody sincerely. And at first I was like, why? Because I couldn't compliment myself.
Ooh.
So it was a challenge for me. But once I remember complimenting one lady honestly. She had a really nice duster, and I was like, ma'am,
That is.
I don't want nothing. I just want to tell you yes.
Yes.
Right? And she was like, oh my God, thank you so much. You don't know what kind of day I had. And so that's what prompted me to be able to compliment people when I do, and get more, affiliated with that. So I'm excited about this. We see you, sis, in this new segment. We're spotlighting women who care deeply about their communities, who are taking action to make lives of people better. Do what you have the power to do. The first sister we want to spotlight is Tamika Carter. Tamika Carter seeks election as the next judge of the 400th District Court in Texas. She's a graduate of Johnson C. Smith University and Thurgood Marshall School of Law. Ms. Carter spent over 10 years serving both Tarrant County District Attorney's Office and Harris County District Attorney's Offices before going into private practice. In January of 2019, Ms. Carter transitioned to the Fort Bend County District Attorney's Office, where her current assignment is Chief of the Mental Health Division. That's nice. Ms. Carter's primary focus is jail diversion for mentally ill individuals who are charged with misdemeanors or felony offenses. Her website states, if elected, I will continue working with the Fort Bend County Mental Health Court. I seek to break the cycle of
recidivism
for people with serious mental illnesses by establishing more community-based treatment solutions. As a judge, I work to ensure that mentally ill individuals charged with non-violent offenses are not sitting in jail for extended periods of time due to high bonds. That's awesome. Mrs. Carter and her husband are longtime residents of Fort Bend County, and her 2 children attend Fort Bend County schools. Go to www.tamikacarterforjudge.com for more information. Ms. Carter, the ladies of Black Coffee with a Side of Tea want to say,
we see you, sis.
Thank you for your work and your desire to serve your local community. We want to shout you out and encourage you to keep that energy, and we look forward to seeing you do great things.
Awesome. So shout out to her. Yes. We're about to remind you that Stunner merch is available for you. We got shows, merchandise for our shows. We have Black Coffee with a Side of Tea merch. We have Love Power merch. We certainly have Lysa Deneen merch.
Yes.
And so make sure you go over to www.stunnerradio.com to see all of your options. I think it's leggings on there and masks. I want some socks. I need some stickers, so keep your eyes on that site, because we're definitely going to be adding new things moving forward. And so we want to tell tell you that we appreciate you spending the evening with us, afternoon with us. You could have spent your time anywhere. Make sure you check us out on YouTube, see us live there. But thank you so much for the show. We want to say appreciate you, and we want you to enjoy your black coffee with your side of tea. Have a good Saturday.
And we'll be right back after this.
Yes.
Are you enjoying the show? Great, glad to hear it. Show my love over your favorite Starter Radio show.
Say again. Okay. Are we finished? Okay. Just throwing that in there. Okay.
You guys want to wrap it up after that?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Stand by.
We are Urban Talk Radio for the Black and Brown community and all those who value.
5 seconds.
Starter Radio is the heart and soul of the culture.
So before we go, we want to make sure everyone has the opportunity to let you know how you can follow each of us. So you have Miss Lysa Dene. How do people check you out?
You can check me out on LysaDene.com, and you can check me out everywhere on all social media platforms under Lysa Dene.
My name is Lysa the Boss Lady, and you can catch me everywhere as Lysa the Boss Lady.
Awesome.
I am on Instagram at Lysa the Boss Lady, LYSATHA Boss Lady. I'm on Facebook as Lysa the Boss Lady, Book with the Boss Lady, Bye Bye Belly with the Boss Lady, Bedroom Candy with the Boss Lady.
Did you do the travel one?
Book with the Boss
Book
Lady.
with the Boss Lady. Okay.
Boss
Miss
Lady.
Mimi, how do they find ye?
On Instagram, you can find me at just Mimi, JUZTMEME, or Mimi_speaks with a Z.
All right, and you can find me, Latriva Deneen, on Facebook.com. You can find me at Twitter. You can find me at Instagram, all of those places. Latriva Deneen, that's where I am. So here we go. This Saturday was amazing. How did y'all like that girlfriend's conversation?
Listen,
I mean, it was needed.
Okay, because we need to heal that, and I really, really want this space to be one where we are growing together as girlfriends and getting to know each other and building our community.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So here we go. We are ending our day.
I'm lost.
Me too.
See you next week.
Oh, Johnny needs to do a shout out again so I can edit at one part. Then.
Oh, your part. Oh, okay. I don't know what's happening.
My bad. I'm gonna edit that part where the commercial came out. Oh, sorry, do you shout it? My bad. I was trying to get your attention.
I'm missing the